Hey everyone, it's Steve from the garden. This is a follow-up to my first onion harvest video. I have pulled just about all the onions now. All the candy onions are done, all the Pattersons are done, but I still have some yellow sweet Spanish that are still in the bed and they haven't flopped over yet, and we'll cover those last. Anyways, let's take a quick look at what we have for the candy onions and then the Pattersons, and then we'll touch on those yellow sweet Spanish. These ones over here on the side, these are the ones that start flowering, so I put them separate from the others because when I have to use them first, they won't store as well. These are all the candy onions. So I put some of the very largest ones here, over here on the end, just so that you can see how big they actually did get. The Pattersons are a bit disappointing in terms of their size this year. I'm not sure why they're smaller than normal, but it is what it is. And I did have a couple of them also go to flower. These are the yellow sweet Spanish onions I did pull out so far. Now the bulb size on these are quite a bit varied compared to, like, say, the candy onions or the Pattersons. You know, I got some larger ones, but then I got smaller ones. I'm going to show you what we have in the bed. Those are a little bit larger than most of these, and they're still going. This is what remains of the yellow sweet Spanish. I have one that's going to seed, so I'm actually going to leave this one in the bed and let it fully go to seed and produce the seed. And then I can collect that and use that for starting new ones in the winter time. I don't think the remaining onions in here will be very long before they are ready. Some of them are starting to lean over, but they're not falling over yet. And most of these bulbs are, you know, pretty decent size. Not as big as the candy, but a lot of them are bigger than the Pattersons this year. To give you an idea of just how big some of these candy onions got, so this is, I'm not sure if this is the very largest, but it's definitely way up there. So that's the size of my hand, and you can see it is quite a large onion. Now that I've finished the harvest of this bed, except for those few onions that remain, I have to decide what I want to do with the bed for the rest of the season. So what I could do is I could plant something like, say, green beans in here, and I think I have enough time where I could get a harvest or two of green beans. Or I could kind of strip off the mulch and all that, clean up the bed, get the weeds out, and do a cover crop of buckwheat. Buckwheat is what I did last year. You know, they're done in about 30, 40 days or so. You cut it down, tarp the bed, and it's just done until, you know, next spring. Not totally sure what I'm going to do yet, but it will end up being one of those two things. As long as we're talking about this bed, another thing I probably should do is redo the sides of this bed, where I do just a regular raised bed with wooden sides instead of like the mix of materials like the bricks and logs and whatever I had laying around when I first built this. So that'll be another thing I'll have to decide is, do I want to tackle that this year or do I wait till next year? The onions I harvested in my first onion video this year, they're dried out, ready to be put in storage. So now it really just comes down to clipping off the dried vegetation, clipping off the roots. I have these mesh bags that I just store them in. These all get hung up in that storage space beneath my basement steps, where it stays dark and around 60 degrees through the summer and into the winter. There we have it, a half full bag of onions. Like I said, I'll put these underneath the steps. These ones over here, these are the ones that flowered, so these will actually need to get used first, so I'll put them in a separate bag and I'll put them right at the very front of the storage space so that they do get used first, and these will be right behind them. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed, got something out of this, and we'll see you on the next one.